Hey, good morning, Canada. My name's Stuart, and I live in Taiwan. I immigrated here from Canada 20 years ago. I lived through the SARS epidemic, and now I'd like to share with you some of the reasons why Taiwan seems to be totally in control of this latest pandemic. Um, Now, you have to understand the political situation here in Taiwan, with China constantly saber rattling and trying to squash any of Taiwan's desires to be recognized by the international community and to keep our democracy tamped down. We just had an election, a free and democratic election in January. And as a result of this, China got all chuffed and fluffy and all rancorous, and they decided to stop sending their tourists to us. Well, thank you, China. That one move alone is one of the big reasons why we've been able to control what's going on. And in that election, we reelected our president, Tsai Ing-wen, and she is a level-headed, sensible person who, by contrast to the other alternative, a guy that we affectionately call Korean Fish, who is, think Trump, but with a greater sense of face, would have totally botched the handling of this. And the reason we were able to do this election, and this is important, we had a 74% voter turnout. So elections do matter. Alberta, yeah, what was your turnout like? And you got what you deserved. So the political situation actually fueled the response to our ability to respond to the coronavirus. Another very simple point to consider is that there are only two ways into the country from international destinations. You can fly into Kaohsiung or you can fly into Taoyuan, and of course, with only two ports of entry, we're able to stem the tide and control what's happening. Quarantines. I have a client whose son just returned from studying in America, and he was quarantined for 14 days, even though he shows no sign of the virus. And my client, his mom, is also quarantined because they live together. Now, how does this quarantine work? Every neighborhood in Taiwan has what they call a lijiang. So it's kind of like and it's an elected position, and it's kind of like the mini mayor of the neighborhood. And the lijiangs are tasked with calling on the phone the quarantine people in their neighborhood twice a day to make sure they're still at home. And if they are not answering the phone or something like that, then the police are sent around to investigate. And if you're found, there have been a few cases where people have broken their quarantine, they've been caught, and they've been fined 1 million NT. You can do the currency exchange. I'm not good with currency exchange. I only think in NT now. I've been here so long. So yeah, the political presence has been very strong. The leadership has been strong, constantly giving us out information every day. There are top level politicians putting out Facebook posts telling us what to do and how to behave responsibly. Now, the people themselves also should be given a lot of credit because they're taking it seriously. You walk on the streets, you go on the subway system, everybody is wearing a mask. And this is important. Not only does it protect other people from you if you may be carrying, as we know, you could be asymptomatic but still contagious, but it sends a good signal to everybody. If you're seeing everybody with a mask, you're constantly reminded to be aware, to be vigilant about this virus. In fact, one of the guys I play hockey with, he's a high-level diplomat with the Canadian government, and he's been apparently there's a move now to have people get out, walk around in neighborhoods in Canada with masks on to try and have this psychological impact on how important wearing masks are. Yes, they're not 100% effective, but they remind you, be careful what you're touching. A banister, holding on to the railing on an escalator, touching buttons in elevators. It lives on surfaces for a long time. So you have to, and the masks are a constant reminder to be vigilant about what you're touching and to wash your hands constantly. So we're very aware, as is the world, of what's going on. So yeah, so the borders being closed to China, that was fantastic. And we, of course, the news report on CBC comparing Taiwan to Canada and the Lin family, it talked a lot about the prevention and things like that. Now, about the panic buying, there have been instances of panic buying in Taiwan. We went to the grocery store the other day, and there was no toilet paper. And then we went yesterday, and the grocery store is now limiting one purchase of toilet paper per customer. But there was 3 people who started a rumor for panic buying last week, and they're being questioned by the authorities. Here, I can actually show you the article here. So 3 questions for spreading toilet paper shortage rumor. So yeah, so the government is well in hand on top of this. And we're very grateful for that. That's why we have so few cases. Another thing is the healthcare system here. I always thought Canada had the best healthcare in the world. Well, it's downright American when compared to the Taiwanese healthcare system. I play hockey and baseball, and I've had lots of sports injuries. I broke my hand and had to have surgery, and I was in right away. I've had 2 knee surgeries. You see the doctor, he says, "You ready to go for surgery?" Yeah. And so you're in the hospital 2 days later. MRIs, you get the same day. He says, "Oh, you need an MRI, go downstairs and get the MRI." So our healthcare system is amazing. And our healthcare professionals, they're the real heroes here, being able to still go to work every day knowing that you're at risk of contracting this virus. So to recap, 2 ports of entry. We're lucky that way. Canada, sorry, you just really got to take control of the borders. Vote. Put responsible people into government offices. Yeah, politicians don't really affect us. Yes, they do. And I see all my friends in Alberta. I'm a graduate of the University of Calgary, and I have a lot of friends still in Alberta. And even before the COVID virus, something's wrong in Alberta, and I can hear the pain of all my Albertan artist friends. And so voting is really important. Get a turnout, people. Come on. 74% by Taiwan, they were turnout. They respect their democracy and they cherish their democracy here. So you have to be able to say the same. Hold your head high and say, "Yes, I voted." So yeah. So from inside the front lines, a slap shot away from China, I am proud to call myself Xin Taiwan, New Taiwanese. And if I happened to contract this virus, there's no country I'd rather be in. All right, Canada, wear your masks. Peace.